I think the only fanfic I have two that's in unlisted.
Mm.
I made this is gonna be kind of a like the weird idea I gave it is like literally Twilight is literally completely mad in this fanfic I wrote myself. She just loses it. That's what I made it to be. She's not normal because it's basically a Christmas fanfic that gone horribly wrong and she goes nuts. And I made her literally fart fire onto a building and burn it down.
Yeah, I thought initially when I was trying to start writing, I thought that, oh, well, I can't draw, so I need to write. Well, funny enough, I gave up on that, but I've actually stuck with drawing a lot better than I have stuck with writing. And I'm still shit at it, but it's the longest I've stuck with something to do for this fandom and actually produce content.
I'm gonna be real. I started writing in 2006. I didn't get good until 2013.
So it took you.
Takes you a while.
Well, I wrote one little bit of a not novel, but a little bit of piece of a draft I made. It was basically kind of a parody of Sure the Coin, one of my favorite Stephen King books of all time, one of mine favorite. I made it to be just so much worse because I wanted to make it so terrible. And but sometimes, what else? Like I did that for 5 years. It took me that long to finish it because it was like 100 pages. Because I wanted to make it look as good as possible. like like you just said a minute ago about how like smut, like a lot of people make fun of it because it's just not right, but you know what, who cares? Should go to my fan fiction when I get home because I have my computer one. I still have it up because I have so many people I'm following for. I got about 15 different places I'm already a member of, including the weird stuff and the stuff that no one wants to look at.
You doing all right?
Hmm?
You're acting like you got a headache.
I don't really have a headache. It's just my computer is crap now. It's an 8-year-old laptop, and I've had to make do because laptops are expensive, even ones that I need to get from work. And I'm just getting.
You mind if I see what's wrong with it?
I'm just getting a straight black screen. I'm trying to load. Now normally I don't turn this on. This is the first time I've turned it on in 8 months. So it's been this way for about a minute now.
Huh.
Charged it last night, just to make sure. Just gotta do this thing, I guess.
It might take a minute.
I know.
My computer literally crashed on me one time when I was doing some writing, simple draft writing, and I literally I mostly only write stuff that is stuff I mostly enjoy the most. I mostly enjoy just the weird stuff that people don't even look at, stuff that people can't even watch because I'm kind of a weirdo.
I mean, that's kind of what I do with art. Like, I'm fairly new at it, but like really new.
I think the only stupid explanation I can give you on what I write, I mostly do like how like the Willy Wonka stuff,
Oh.
because that's how weird it can get.
Well, I don't. My stuff's pretty much just basic sketches trying to get anatomy down, but I'm not gonna publish them on Derpy Boro until I feel
Derpy
I'm
View is like
on them.
uncensorship stuff. Like I mostly keep it all uncensorship. So basically, if I want to look at something that's basically weird and smut, go
Well,
for it.
I think that's what I do. I mean, that's what a lot of people do. Is they just have it set to everything, and that's what I have it. But
Like I don't go always to that same stuff.
I mean, like I know there's some shitty art on Derpy Boro. I've seen it, but I want to be one of the people who just hops on there like out of the blue and actually has decent art already. So all my sketches, I'm kind of just keeping to myself right now. I'm hoping if I keep at it, I can actually post there soon enough. But
Yeah, I think
it's gonna be
like I have one fan fiction. I mostly like how like a lot of people get kind of weird and cringe about the inflation on DeviantArt. I mostly don't ever cringe. I mostly just what, who cares? I'm gonna do it. I do that. I already have some pictures on my DeviantArt when I'm testing out anatomy with my characters. It's really
inflation
difficult.
is like a foot fetish. I don't understand why people like it, but I just know that for some reason a lot of people do, and I don't care to learn why they like it.
I do. I have like almost 6 different fetishes on the category. 6.
I'm not in the mood to discuss them, so.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah, you're trying to get your panel already started.
We have 2 people in here, but we have 10 minutes to go. People will be getting on the panel soon and coming in. Apparently, he said there's probably quite a few people asking. I'll give you a few minutes. My computer wants to fucking work. Come on.
Let's see here. I'm gonna just do the old IT expert thing and Google probably.
I've already done that.
What is it trying to say?
It's just on the part where I've entered, this is Windows 10, I entered my password, and it just says welcome. It's spinning. Now earlier, it had gotten as far as preparing Windows, and then it just stayed there. I don't know what's up. Worst comes to worst, I'm prepared, that's why I brought my phone, so.
Or else we had to use this tiny little screen on the, like, try to figure it
Are
out.
we working? I think we're working.
Thank God.
We're getting some progress.
Come
Come on.
on.
Have you flushed out the? I highly doubt this is the problem,
I
but
just need a system reset at this point. That's how old this laptop
well,
is.
I had this problem with Windows 10 on an Acer all-in-one, or not Acer, on a Asus all-in-one. And the problem was that it was stuck on 100% disk usage, and everything was dinosaur slow because it kept thinking the hard drive was filled to max. And that you have to like disable Windows search in the command prompt, and sometimes it's an antivirus that does that for whatever reason. Like to give an example, I installed a free one on my computer, and it turned off Windows Defender because it already reaches another antivirus there, and that ended up being the problem.
Yes, you're almost there. Keep it up. We're almost there.
But yeah, Windows is shit.
Come on, guys. Back benefit reading.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man.
I'm gonna lay down the law right now, and this is mostly for you since you seem to be in a talkative mood. This guy here. Let's keep the shouting to a minimum. The more quips we make at how bad the fan fiction is, the longer it's gonna take, the less fan fiction I can read. Now it's not gonna stop me from making quips. After all, I'm a panelist. I'm the one who's actually being forced to read this stuff.
Oof.
But let's try to keep the background chatter to a minimum. Because some people would like to be able to hear.
So
I know
you
from
should-
experience that having someone next to you that's constantly saying what they think is witty is distractingly obnoxious. The first time I watched Captain America: The Winter Soldier, we had a guy in my theater who was not complaining, but it was like Mystery Science Theater. You know, he was talking about through it the whole time. Someone in front of me finally had enough. Thank goodness for her. She finally had enough. Towards the middle of the movie, not you know, right about the part where you know they're talking to Zola, and you know he's talking about how, or he's kind of muttering under his breath about how Zola doesn't look that way in the comics. She just finally turns around and says, "If I want the commentary, I'll buy the fucking DVD," and it's really loud, echoes around the room. Nobody says a word, and this guy shuts up and listens. So.
I would imagine in the end someone just tooted really silently.
We had to do that to some people that were I was with my dad and we were watching Kung Fu Panda 3.
Oh God.
Well, the thing is that we wanted to go. My family does movie nights, and when there's nothing out, we just go see whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was this guy with like it was two half guys and half girls, and one guy was sitting there trying to be funny and trying to impress all the girls. And it got pretty heated. I thought they were gonna get in a little fist fight, my old man and that dude, but eventually he shut up.
Yeah, my school.
I'm guessing if the girls weren't there, he would have shut up.
The only time we
No,
ever
those
have
guys.
any kind of drama at my school is when people have something big in their life and people are so jealous over it. Because let's just say that my school is just terrible with handling like drama gets out of hand so quick.
That's just how drama is. Even in this fandom, there's stuff that gets so blown out of proportion. You just have to know how to handle it.
Like,
and the way with drama works is if you're involved, you either A, don't respond at all, or you respond once and leave it at that. That's the rule with genuine. If you're ever horse famous or famous in general, that's the golden rule.
Well, there's
Because
only
it's-
two. I'm not going to say out loud because you know we already know one before you know who did something terrible.
What's the golden rule of being horse famous?
I don't know. I'm just it applies to all fame. I don't.
But well, I mean, what'd you say?
Oh, I said, well, if you're involved in drama of any kind, either respond once or don't respond at all. If you respond once, say everything you need to say and leave it at that, and don't bring it up again. Because I've seen people that respond once and normally that kills all the drama. So it's okay to respond, just do it once.
Even on Mino.
You can't continue to get involved. Like,
yeah.
Just ask Kevin Durant about how many accounts he makes to argue with high schoolers who are still criticizing him for his move to Golden State. All he had to do was just say, I was chasing a ring, and everybody would have been like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't respect you, but all right.
Yeah.
But instead, he just continues to make burner Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter accounts, and he gets into arguments with people about it, trying to defend himself, and it just makes him look pathetic.
Yeah.
It looks like you're just begging for attention.
Well, he is. He likes to be the center of attention.
Well,
that's not the point.
Like,
I think I have that exact tripod at home.
and also on Amino, because I'm a leader on 11 Aminos, and I only get about 1 or 2 dramas a week, so I have to deal with it immediately by banning them if it's drama. I don't allow drama in any Amino. It gets on my nerves.
What is that? It sounds familiar.
Amino for Equestria Amino, because we do. I'm on there all the time. Even right now, I'm getting over 100 messages from one chat room.
I got off of Amino because I was never involved in
I don't have any social media in general. I have a Facebook. Back when Facebook was really, really popular, I had
I
friends that
think
were
I'm having a
pressuring.
better turnout now than I had for the Hoops Line panel in main events yesterday.
If anyone saw the Who's on Live panel, watch it on my
The
YouTube
Who's
channel.
Alive panel.
I was participating on it. If you didn't
Huh?
see.
Who?
The what panel?
The Hoops Line.
Who's Line?
Yesterday. I think I have more now.
The
5 minutes
Who's
before panel
line is
starts.
it anyway?
Yeah.
I was there.
I know, but I'm saying I feel like I have more attendance now than I had at that panel yesterday. Of course, it may have something to do with being in a smaller room and being more filled up versus being in a large room and almost nobody here.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people go to main events because it's much more interesting to them.
This was his main events. You were there.
Yeah.
You got called on stage. You know what I'm talking about. There
Yeah.
was like nobody in the audience until about halfway, in which people started trickling in. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna have to do some waiting for a little bit longer. My laptop finally decided to boot up, and it's still in the process of booting. This is what happens when you have an 8-year-old laptop and you don't upgrade because your job doesn't pay.
Tony, pull up Task Manager. It might still work.
It's not trying its best. I know when it's trying its best, and it's not.
No, I'm saying because that's how I found out about that disk error thing. And that
I
laptop.
got I think the big thing is I've got to interact with this more often because I think part of it is this thing tried to install a Windows update, but I don't have internet, so it failed that. It just knew that it needed to have a Windows update installed.
Maybe like,
That
nope.
might be it too.
What is the hotel? What's the hotel Wi-Fi?
Look.
HDI.
It's they have IHG Connect and it's the free one.
Okay.
Well, I just didn't get enough.
And that's a capital C on the Connect.
Yeah, I see.
I just didn't get enough sleep after the place got flooded, you know?
What?
Just tired because the place got flooded yesterday. Don't know that.
I'm not tired. I wasn't here for that.
No, because the computer.
My laptop was not here for that either. And I know that because I was at home and my laptop was with me at home, which is just up the road.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, I know, right? It's nice living in Dallas when there's cons.
I live in a bumfuck country nowhere.
So Wichita Falls.
No, well,
Having
Hallsville,
lived there-
Hallsville, Texas. But you don't know where that is, I'm guessing.
Where?
Hallsville, Texas. Hallsville.
Hallsville. Okay, I thought you said Fallsville. I was like, that's Wichita Falls. No, I don't know. Is it
I'm
West
from
Texas or East?
Arkansas.
It's smack dab in between Longview and Marshall. It's a little town of about 4,000 people. It's slice of heaven living out there, but the internet's shit.
And also, I'm from Magnolia,
That's what I
Arkansas,
was gonna
about 4 hours
check.
drive.
That's what I was gonna.
And
It
we
was
have,
independent.
I'm from Magnolia, Arkansas, so I'm not going to give stability. Our town
Oh,
is
no,
literally
I was never going to.
pathetic on crime. We have 3,800
I'm
committed
gonna-
crimes every
okay,
day.
so most of-
Hallsville's
most of
actually
it-
really
most
good
of
on
it-
crime. Like it's so
gonna be like famous
just because
Badfic.
in small Texas towns like that, nobody
There
does
is a moment
anything.
in
Like
the
the
Lewis
most
Dunbar or Lawrence.
crime I've seen in Hallsville is people speeding. That's it.
And our town has like,
And some
we have
gambling, I'll
a,
say it's
when I
nice.
looked on a
Character
document,
is
we have a
stretching
D minus
because
for crime rate.
Well, right, but
Out of a
no, I get
29% rate.
I get what you're saying. I And
So
like I
for
said,
kids,
this
definitely.
is gonna depend on the audience.
That's a good fanfic channel.
I need to.
I've been wanting to participate in this
I need to
channel for a few years.
projector working, which is off right now.
Just
It
haven't
was
had the
on a
chance.
minute ago.
Well,
I've got the
I
thing
didn't have the
plugged
money
in.
at the time with my parents because we were still in a
I
tight
haven't,
situation.
okay, I was gonna say, part of it is I haven't.
Money gets tight after 3 or 4 years.
Oh, no, yeah, like I said, I traced the cord, it's just, it's not on, and I just booted it. That's the big thing, is I haven't like told my computer to put it in.
Like, I've seen like, I think the most type of fanfics I mostly try to write stuff that people don't even want to go to because people might criticize me for being kind of a, weirdo. And even though that you like said a minute ago,
I think we're good.
saying like dirty
Once
stuff,
I get Chrome working,
who
and
cares?
once I get,
Everybody has no freedom of what they think.
can we shut the door as well? Are we allowed to do that?
Hey man.
I think so.
Writing.
There's something
Okay.
outside of it,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, like you said, on the topic of, no kids or whatever, I'll try to abide by family friendly. I don't think there's gonna be much of a problem, 'cause I did like actually read through these. The
Okay.
problem is there may come a time when, we do audience participation and that is gonna be unfiltered, because I can't read all these before I do it.
Gotcha,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna give them the rules, but,
Yeah, just.
And it looks like,
Hey, don't do that.
most of us that say,
yeah, I'm gonna be, well, no, so.
Anyone
they're
from
not-
over
It'll
18.
depend on what they want.
Looks like
right?
everybody here's
So I'm
an
gonna give them the
adult.
option of just submitting things for me to read, or
I'm a
being
child
read
at heart.
themselves. But they have to abide by contract, and I will call.
I can't imagine there
I
being.
will, have you ever heard of Maya Mortal?
Yes.
No. I think you mentioned it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Maya Mortal and 30 Ages, those two are about the worst that I've ever read. And the thing is, it's like they're hilarious in their badness, and
Forbidden fruit, the temptation that you're.
I've heard of that, I've never read it, I don't want to read anything about it.
I'll set up.
Okay.
Well, you know it's going to be bad when there's not one, but two misspellings.
Title, yes.
Not forbidden fruit, as in, but forbidden fruit. Like something headed to the vice president.
I know, dude. I'm familiar with well-known bad fan fiction. I'm doing this panel. I'm sorry, guys, it's taking a while.
But at
I
least
have a PowerPoint ready for this, which is what the delay is. I'm trying to get that loaded up, because the PowerPoint's gonna have like the rules for what we do when we get to the second half of this panel. And while we're on that topic,
Alright, none of you are allowed to leave.
sucks for you guys. You're locked in here with me. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Yeah, and your guys aren't the ones who have to read bad fan fiction to the lot of you. I have to put myself through that because comedy. All right, we're slowly making progress. Again, I'm sorry for the delay. My laptop decided to be a poopy head this morning when I was trying to boot everything up, and it's still loading. I have a PowerPoint ready that I was going to do for this, and that's what I'm trying to get, so it'll be on the screen. If worse comes to worse, I can just read things off my phone, which is why I brought it and why I brought the charger. So the first thing I want to do before we even begin is just point out that for those of you who are unfamiliar with bad fan fiction in general, it's a bunch of authors who think they're good at writing stuff, but they're really not. And these are some of the most famous examples for several reasons. Like some very well-known bad fics, like the godfather of them all, My Immortal, is one of the ones that I planned on reading. There's 30 H's and the Harry Potter sphere. There's Half-Life, Full Life Consequences. Legolas by Lara, and some of these other ones. But the ones that I wanted to ask about are namely My Immortal and 30 H's. I was only going to read one chapter out of 30 H's and just a couple chapters out of My Immortal, but they are rated M, straight rated M. Like, My Immortal has, drops a lot of F-bombs because this girl who wrote it thinks she's an angsty, edgy teenager. And 30 H's was possibly by a psychotic 13-year-old who just discovered heavy metal for the first time. And if I decide to, if you guys feel like that's okay to read, we'll go with it.
Have you heard of Sephiroth and Doom?
We're not going to read that. Or rather, I'm not going to read that. That's not on my sheet. I have heard of it, yes, but I'm not going to read it.
Journey to Equestria?
Okay, so while I still wait for Google Chrome to load, there's going to be a point about halfway through this panel. I've timed myself. I think we're going to have plenty of time if my laptop wants to cooperate, where we can do something a little more audience-oriented. We can have the audience come up here and read little segments of terrible fan fiction as quickly as they can. We could have the audience suggest terrible things for me to read. You know, just it's all up to you. But the main thing that I want to establish before we even get started is, does anybody have a problem with sensitive material, some gratuitous, badly described gore, violence, that kind of thing? Even a vague depiction of sex at one point in my immortal that I want to touch on just a little bit. I just want to make sure that everyone's okay with that, because if everybody's good, then we'll do it. If not, then I can skip over those and we can do other things. So I'll just put it this way. If you think that we should keep this panel PG-13 at the worst, if you don't want to touch on any sensitive material whatsoever, that could be a triggering topic or anything like that, that's fine. Just raise your hand. I don't want to make, if there's any children in the audience, I just don't want to cause any problems.
I'm here to laugh.
All right, no hands. That works for me. All right. Now the problem is I've got to navigate to Google Drive because I've got the internet.
No, I'm
here.
gonna read this.
The internet is at my disposal.
You have to read it.
All right. I'm almost there, guys. As soon as I get my PowerPoint pulled up, I'll pull the cap off and we'll get started. In the meantime, I'll let you guys know the ones that I planned to read today. The ones that I planned on reading. I was going to start with Legolas by Laura, and I'm going to use these to demonstrate the kind of different voices that I can do. I can do, if you've ever heard of Don LaFontaine, he's the guy that used to do movie trailers, in a world, he's that guy. I can try to read these as dramatically as possible, as if I were reading some kind of epic Brandon Sanderson. Alternatively, there is a well-known video on YouTube at some people who did a comedic reading of Legolas by Laura and then animated it while they were at it. And they basically sound like this the whole time. Like they're just having the grandest time, and I can do that one. In fact, I plan on doing that one for Legolas by Laura. I had originally wanted to also do the Scout from Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem. I was reading stuff last night, and I found that I can't maintain that accent.
What about that heavy from Fortress 2?
You're not just
No, just oh.
You're not Russian enough.
I know. That's why I'm not doing it. So to replace the Scout from Team Fortress 2, I had another idea. Sir David Attenborough narrating an episode of Planet Earth as though he were reading terrible fan fiction. Excuse me, strike that, reverse it, thank you. Just read it in my calmest, most Bob Ross, Sir David Attenborough, Boaty McBoatface voice. And, try to, it's not dramatic, it's not comedy, but it's just one of those things where just the dissonance of it. And I'll demonstrate those by reading different fics. And at the end, we can do one of two things. We can, one sec, since I get logged in here, we can do a bit where the audience members who would like to participate can come up here and read a selection of bad fanfic themselves, be as funny as you want or as serious as you want. But you get like a time limit, and then you have to go to the back of the line so we can get someone else to go. Or y'all can suggest more things for me to read, and these would be completely blind. Or we can do both, where people are suggesting things for other audience members to read, and y'all can share in my pain. Almost there. I've got my Google Drive loaded. I'm just loading the PowerPoint now. I thought I'd have to sign in on this Wi-Fi, but it turns out I don't have to. Looks like we're running 5 minutes behind, 10 minutes, something like that behind because of this, but that's fine. There's plenty of time. There was a problem in the program where it said that this panel would be an hour if you looked at like the little panel that describes everything, but if you looked at the schedule, it said it was 90 minutes. Either way, I think I'm going to go to full 90 because there's nothing after this panel for like another hour and a half. So I think we're safe on time either way. And come on, load, for goodness sake. I came in here 30 minutes early and I turned this thing on. It's still trying to load. So that's a 2011 laptop for you, 2009. Anyway, I think what I can do is I got a couple of them pulled up on my iPhone or on my Android, whatever this phone is. I got a couple of them pulled up.
So we can go ahead and get started while I still wait for things to load. If I need to pause so I can put stuff on the projector, I can do that. Or I can just wait until this is done. But I want to go ahead and get started with Legolas by Laura. Also known as, and then Legolas said, the fanfic. And you'll see why in just a minute. I'm going to read this in that comedic, having a grand old time voice. And this is one of the ones where it very briefly touches on some sensitive topics, but it's horribly done. It should not be a problem. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes, let's get the cringe going.
I'm sorry that, like I said, sorry it's taken so long, but, well, here we go. Legolas was riding along the woods, and one day he found a baby whipped and cold. Oh yes, I am reading these phonetically, by the way. I'm not going to try and correct any of the spellings. One day he found a baby whipped and cold, and so he got off his horse and went to the baby. And then Legolas said, "Who left you here, little one?" And the baby just cried, and then Legolas picked her up and hold her. And then the baby stopped crying, and then Legolas said, "Your name is going to be Laura." And then Legolas and the baby went onto the horse and went back to the castle where he said, "Mother, father, I found this little baby in the woods." And then Legolas' mother got up and walked down and said, "How can baby put woods in the woods and to die?" And then Legolas' father said, "We are going to keep her." And then Legolas was happy for some rising 10 years later. This plot development. This is some of the fastest plot development I've seen.
10 years later.
All in one sentence. Anyway, 10 years later, Legolas got up and went to Laura's room and said, "Good morning." And then Laura said, "Good morning too." And then Legolas said, "What's the matter?" And then Laura said, "Legolas, I want to know how to ride a horse." And then Legolas said, "Ok." And then Legolas said, "First you'll get dresses and have something to eat, and then we will go for a horse ride lesson." And then meanwhile, Strider and Gandalf was riding towards where Legolas lived. And Strider said, "Gandalf, I did not know that Legolas had a sister." And then Gandalf said, "I did not know as well." Meanwhile, at Mondor, the Dark Lord was planning to kidnap the princess, but not the boss of the orcs came and said, "I'll get her for you, sir." And then the Dark Lord smiled and said, "Yes, you can."
Yes, you can.
Meanwhile, Legolas and Laura was horse riding, and then Laura said, "Legolas, who's that?" And then Legolas looked, and it was Gandalf, and said, "That is Gandalf and Strider." And then Strider said, "Gandalf and Legolas." And then Legolas said, "Strider, long time seen." And then Strider said, "How's you?" And then Legolas said, "I am fine." And then Gandalf said, "Who is this then?" And then Legolas said, "Meet Laura. I found her in the woods when she was just a baby." Laura was shy at first, but then Legolas said, "Laura, come up and meet Sturdier and Gandalf." It is spelled sturdier for some reason. And then Laura said, "Hello, I'm Laura." And then Legolas said, "She is the princess." And then Strider said, "Is she so cute?" And then Legolas said, "That would be my fallet," whatever a fallet is. And then Gandalf said, "Why?" And then Laura said, "He protects me, that's why." And then Legolas looked up and said, "I think we should go back to the castle." And then Laura said, "I could feel it too." And then Legolas said, "Do you want to stay for a night?" And then Gandalf and Strider said, "Yes, please." And then they had tea and went to the night. Legolas asked the guards to keep an eye on Laura. I'm not lying. This is exactly how it reads. I'm not skipping words. And went to the night. Legolas asked the guards to keep an eye on Laura's. Oh, by the way, guards is spelled G-A-R-D-S, so it sounds very Danish when I say it. Because he asked the guards to keep an eye on Laura's while the orcs climbed up to the window and grabbed Laura, and then Laura woke up and screamed, and then the guard went into her room and saw lots of orcs, and then Legolas ran down. The Legolas said, "Where is Laura?" And then the guards said, "The orcs took her." Meanwhile, the orcs was back at Mondor, and then Laura said, "Put me down," and the orcs put her down, and then the Dark Lord came out of the fire and said, "Welcome, Laura." And then Laura looked at him and said, "No, it can't be," and then she tried to run away, but the orcs got the Dark Lord, said, "Put her into the cell and bet her, and also do whatever you want with her, but do not kill her." And the orcs took her to the cell and threw her into the cell. And then they shut the go up and went to the window and looked out, and she was wishing that Legolas and someone was saving while back at the castle. Sorry. It's just one of those hard to read sentences. Back at the castle of Milkwood, Legolas was getting the army ready for go and save while Laura was sitting on the floor, and then the door opened and it was some orcs. And the orcs tied Laura with some chains, and then one of the orcs striped her, and then he raped her, and then Laura said, "Go away, you bastard!" And then another orc came with a whip and wiped her hard. I'm already glad I'm doing this panel.
And they just raced her, like they just would yell at her.
And then the orcs altogether bit her almost to death. And then the Dark Lord came in with a tube of potion, and then he injected it into Laura. A few hours later, Legolas and the others was on the way to Mondor to save the princess while in the cell where Laura had been kept. Laura woke up and she looked on her body, and there was blood and scars, and she could only move her right arm, but not her. Laura said, "I feel so cold." And then she cast see the very frowned gates of Mordor. Was Legolas? She actually spelled Mordor right. How about that? Was Legolas and the others, and they said, "Let's Laura go." And the Dark Lord said, "No." And then Legolas said, "Right, listen, I." Oh boy.
Oh. Scary story time.
This is an After Dark panel. Anyway, and then Legolas said, "Right, listen, I will climb up to the cell and get Laura, and you and the others will find another way." Strider said, "All right," and then Legolas started to climb up while Strider and the others ran into Mondor and went into the cell. "I will go and kill the Dark Lord, and you and the others will go and help Legolas." Yeah, he did Mondor. Strider said, "Be careful," and then Gandalf said, "I will, don't you worry about me." Strider, Gandalf, OTP, guys. Meanwhile, Legolas got to the cell where Laura said, "Laura, are you in there?" And then Laura said, "Oh, Legolas, you finally came." And then Legolas said, "Are you alright?" And then Laura said, "No, I am not alright." And then Legolas said, "They bet you up and raped you, also the Dark Lord gave you the potion." And Laura said, "How did you know that?" And then Legolas said, "When I was your agent, it did the same thing to me." I'm not gonna lie. That is the line I look forward to reading the most out of this fic. Because that is some great backstory. That is some fantastic backstory.
It's making me laugh because of how weird its consonants are, just don't make any sense at all.
I know, right?
And it says a lot about Legolas's character. This happened to him when he
This
was
is the new canon backstory of Legolas. Okay?
Maybe they can make a story about legs.
Alright. Alright. Then Laura said, "Can you get me out of here?" And Legolas said, "Oh, stand back." And then he ran back and ran toward the door and knocked it down. Laura said, "Wow." And then Legolas looked and she was covered in blood and scars and she was also naked. Then Legolas said, "Why? They did it to you, not me." Well, no, here's the thing. They did do it to him when he was her age. He just said that.
He wanted it again?
And then the orcs came and said, "Because she got a power and she can destroy us all, the bad guys." And then the fight began. Legolas got out his bow and arrows and started firing at Legolas, saw some swords and said, "Strider, is that you?" And then Strider said, "Yes, it is." And then Legolas and the others started to kill the wild Gandalf was having a fun time. Trying to destroy the Dark Lord said, "I wish Frodo and Merry and Pippin and Sam was here." And then a sword came out of nowhere and said, "Some wished us here." And then Gandalf turned and said, "Frodo Baggins, why are you here?" And then Frodo said, "We came to help you and also got rid of the ring." And then the Dark Lord said, "Oh no!" And then the magical powers from Gandalf destroyed the Dark Lord. Well, that tied up in about half an hour, faster than the Lord of the Rings movies did in about 10 hours. Meanwhile, Legolas and Strider and the others was helping Laura down, and Strider took off his cape and put it around Laura. Aww, that's so sweet. A few hours later, Legolas and the others were on the way back, so they said, "We must go to Rivendell to get Laura better." And then Gandalf said, "I think you are right." And then they turned around and went to look down and it just skipped a whole sentence there. What? Right, they turned around and went to look down on Laura and put his hand onto Laura's head, and she was brooning. It went aside of Legolas' horse, looked and said, "She is getting worse." And then Legolas said, "I know." A few hours later, they were at Rivendell, and Legolas stayed at Laura's side every day until she wakes up, and then Legolas kissed Laura on her lips. And then she moved her arms around Legolas, and then Legolas said, "Are you all right?" And then Laura said, "Yes, I am." And then Legolas said, "I'm so happy." And Laura said, "Do you want to be my boyfriend?" And then Legolas said, "Yes, I will be your boyfriend." And then Legolas and Laura kissed and said, "What happened to me, Legolas?" And then Legolas said, "You got kidnapped by the orcs, and they raped you, and they also bet you almost to death, and the Dark Lord gave you some potion." And then Laura said, "Why can I only move one arm?" And then Legolas said, "Your left arm is broken." And then the door opened and it was Strider. And then Laura said, "Hello, Strider." And then Strider said, "I see you are awake." And then Laura.
That's it. It's over. And then Laura.
That is the end. That really is how it ended.
And then a big boom at the end.
I was just going to leave that hanging there and let people people go, why is he not reading? And then it turned out that's just the end. So don't spoil things for. And I'm still waiting on Google Drive to load. I thought it was almost done. It is not almost done. I feel robbed. Why is that? Like this by Laura, I would say is right about the middling because it's one of those fics that's just, you read it and you're like, who thought this was a good idea? And then you remember it was a 13-year-old girl who was just starstruck by Orlando Bloom.
I can relate.
I mean, let's be real, all of us can relate. Because Orlando Bloom almost looks like a girl in Orlando. Galadriel is objectively better, but Legolas is up there. So now we've got, I've got a couple other ones that I can do, and I was going to start with Half-Life Full-Life Consequences.
No.
And the thing is because this is a 90-minute panel and not a 60-minute one, I don't think it would be too out of the question for me to read all 5 of the Half-Life Full-Life Consequences fics, because they're not that long. Together, they're about 15 minutes, maybe about 20, assuming we stop for breaks. And maybe I get this PowerPoint working, but it doesn't look like that's happening tonight. So here's what we can do. I'll start with the first one, and if you feel like that's enough, we can move on to another one. We can do that. But if you'd like to hear the other 4, which, like I said, not very long, the other 4 have some really great lines. Some really great lines. We can do that too. I'm not going to do the silly voice this time. In fact, I was going to read this in about as dramatic voice as I can possibly manage, just see how that compares. So without further ado, by the author known as Squirrel King, we have Half-Life Full-Life Consequences. Here we go. I think I'm going to use a mic for this because having the speakers is going to be able. John Freeman, who was Gordon Freeman's brother, was one day in an office typing on a computer. He got an email from his brother that said that aliens and monsters were attacking his place and asked him for help, so he went. John Freeman got his computer shut down and went on the platform to go up to the roof of the building where he left his motorcycle, as normal people closed because he was in an office lab coat. John Freeman got on the motorcycle and said, "It's time for me to live up to my family name and face full life consequences." Roll credits. And he had to go. John Freeman ramped off the building and did a backflip and landed. He kept driving down the road and made sure there were no zombies around because he didn't have a weapon. The countrysides were nice, and the plants were singing, and the birds in the sun was almost down from the top of the sky. The mood was set for John Freeman's quest, spelled quist for some reason, quest to help his brother where he was. John Freeman looked around the countrysides and said, "It's a good day to do what has to be done by me and help my brother to defeat the enemies." So on the scale of 1 to badass one-liners, I'm going to rate that one a 2 at best. John Freeman was late, so he had to drive really fast. A cop car was hiding nearby, so when John Freeman went by, the cops came and wanted to give him a ticket. Here, John Freeman saw the first monster because the cop was possessed and had head crabs. "I can't give you my license, officer," John Freeman said. "Why not?" said the head crab officer back to John Freeman. "Because you are a head crab zombie." So John Freeman shot the officer in the head and drove off, thinking my brother is in trouble there, and went faster. That's a very logical response to knowing an officer is giving you a ticket, not gonna lie. But John Freeman had to go faster, like the speed of sound, and got there fast because Gordon needed him where he was. John Freeman looked at road signs and saw Ravenholm with some awns writing under it saying, "You shouldn't come here." So John Freeman almost turned around, but he heard screaming like Gordon, so he went faster again. John Freeman drove in and did another flip and jumped off his motorbike, and the motorbike took out some head crab zombies in front of John Freeman. John Freeman smiled and walked fast. John Freeman then looked on the ground and found weapon, so he picked it up and fired fast at zombie ghosts in front of a house. Ghosts is spelled G-O-A-S-T-S, so I'm not really sure if that is goats or ghosts or what that's supposed to be.
Just say goats.
Goats.
John Freeman said, "Zombie ghosts leave this place." And the zombie ghost said, "But this is our house." And then John Freeman felt sorry for them because they couldn't live there anymore because they were zombie ghosts, so he blew up the house and killed the zombie ghosts so they were at peace. I want to point out, at peace is spelled P-I-E-C-E, so he's not wrong, they really were. And John Freeman heard another scream from his brother, so he kept walking really faster to get where he was. Raven Hold'em was nothing like the countryside. There were no birds singing, and the pants were dead, and the dirt was messy and bloody from head crabs. When John Freeman got to the place where the screaming was started from, he found his brother Gordon Freeman fighting the final boss, and Gordon said, "John Freeman, over here!" So John Freeman went there to the... This is the most talkative version of Gordon Freeman I've ever seen. So John Freeman went there to where Gordon Freeman was fighting. John Freeman fired his bullet from Tegun really fast, and the bullets went and shot the final boss in the eye, and the final boss couldn't see. Gordon Freeman said, "It's time to end this once and for all," and he punched the final boss in the face, and the final boss fell. John Freeman said, "Thanks, I could help, bro." And Gordon Freeman said, "You should come here sooner next time," and they laughed. They laughed over quickly, though, because John Freeman yelled, "Look out, bro!" and pointed to the top of the sky. Gordon Freeman looked up and said, "No!" John Freeman, run out of here as fast as you can. And John Freeman walked real fast out. John Freeman loped back and saw Gordon get stepped on by the next boss, and he was mad and angry. "I'll get you back, evil boss!" John Freeman yelled at the top of lungs. To be continued. If you've seen the videos on the Gary's Mod videos that I think ICTON does on YouTube, they are some of the most fantastic bits of cinema I've ever seen, because at one point, when this says, "and the pants were dead," it is literal dead, bloody pants on the ground. Like, the visual puns are amazing. All right. Give me just a second here. I gotta load up one of the other ones.
We do get more of that one though, right?
Yes. I was gonna read the second,
More
third,
chicken.
fourth, fifth. There's 4 more of these. One of these isn't actually written by Squirrel King. It's written by Peter Chimera, but I think you'll appreciate it when I read it, because Peter Chimera is well known as a terrible fanfic writer, but he does it on purpose somehow. All right, where are we? Oh, he's got Metal Gear Solid fixed. I'm almost tempted. All right, here we go. Half-Life, Full-Life concept. Actually, do you want me to keep reading it in my dramatic voice? Do you want me to go back to the silly voice? Do you want me to try it? Dramatic? Okay.
Dramatic.
Half-Life, Full-Life consequences 2. What has Toad done? It's supposed to be what has to be done, but to be is one word. I'm not really sure why. This is something that the spell checker really easily should have caught. It actually looks like his spelling is getting worse as time goes on, so this had to be a troll. John Freeman walked like speed of light back to his motorcycle and left behind the bad place behind him. John Freeman had to ride his motorcycle real fast back to the office, but John Freeman's gas ran out. John Freeman jumped fast off his motorcycle and landed on dead people's hands. Gordon Freeman is now these hands. "I must kill the next boss and live up to full-life consequences," John Freeman said out loud. John Freeman picked up a laser gun and aimed it at trees to see if he could. Okay. John Freeman shot and tree fell down right in front of him. Well, good job, bro. John Freeman seen eggs fall out of the tree, and he put them back home safe. "These birds don't have to see Gordon Freeman yet. It is not time," John Freeman said to him. Who was him? There's nobody with him. John Freeman had to walk faster and was back at his office working on a computer. He looked on the internet, and there he found the next boss. See, okay, the consistency here is really getting to me. He fought the final boss, now he's fighting the next boss. Is this like, have we gone from Half-Life 2 to Episode 1? What's going on here?
Final boss. Oh my god.
The bonus boss. He's fighting Sephiroth when he beat Xehanort 10 minutes ago.
There's the final boss, and there's the next boss.
I will say, just the fact that you can just look up a boss's weakness on the internet had to have been a godsend for this guy trying to write this fanfic. If this had been written 10 years before, this would not have happened because the internet was not nearly as good of a place of sharing information.
Unless it was a giant enemy crab. Huh?
Yeah, you have to attack to 8-point massive damage.
Well, then he said, then he realized the weakness and used the weakness.
Speaking of, I know his weakness now, John Freeman said. And after that, he got emails from someone John Freeman opened up the emails and read them. Wow, this is riveting. Dear John Freeman, how are you? I miss you at home. Come home safe and sit with Gordon Freeman for Thanksgiving dinner. Love, Mom. John Freeman looked at it and got sad and yelled, I will kill the boss, and Gordon Freeman will be happy soul. And this is while he's at work, too. I'm just met his coworkers looking at him like, what's going on over there? Then he turned on off the computer and went on the platform again, down to his other, more faster motorcycle that had gas in. He has another motorcycle. Why couldn't he just take that one last time? It's faster, apparently. It has gas this time. John Freeman put the laser gun on his motorcycle and his machine gun and his rocket gun on the side.
Oh, man.
This is like an FPS multiplayer game. You just find weapons that he just found on the side of the motorcycle. He went through traffic and went through fast like lightning back to the Raven home and back to the bad place where Gordon Freeman was. John Freeman went off-road and did backflips and landed on back wheels but kept going too. It's called a wheelie, bro. John Freeman kept going fast like before, but was soon back at Raven home and saw some more zombie ghosts. John Freeman said to them, zombie ghosts, I have killed your friends at the old house and I don't want you to shoot your heads. Move near the countryside and you will be friends of John Freeman. The zombie ghosts said that, no, we will kill you, and walked fast to John Freeman's motorcycle. John Freeman waited until they were in front of his motorcycle and backflipped off the bars and shot heads below and landed and walked fast to where the next boss was. You will be one of us, yelled the dead zombie ghost. They're already zombies, and now they're dead zombie ghosts. They can still talk. How many layers of undead do we have here?
We're never dead.
Game over, man. It's like a John Freeman laughed and shot a rocket. That really is the next line. He just laughs and shoots a rocket. John Freeman saw the next boss far down the road and walked slow this time. He walked really slow, like a turtle, and sat down on a rock and watched the next boss near the dead last boss and where the place that Gordon Freeman was. The next boss was laughing at John Freeman. So John Freeman said, you will not laugh at me, and shot a rocket at him since that was his weakness.
Wait.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure most things are weak to rockets. The next boss died. That was quick. Like last time, it required a little bit of strategy. You had to shoot it in the eyes, and then Gordon Freeman had to punch him. This time, you just shoot a rocket at him. Is the rocket okay? I hope so. It doesn't say anything happened to the rocket. It just said the next boss died. For all we know, the rocket is still flying. John Freeman was happy. He walked to the dead bosses and put them under the ground and planted pants on them. So instead of messy dirt and dark, there was pretty things there now to be happy. I'm not kidding. I'm reading these exactly.
I love the pants tree.
John Freeman walked to where Gordon Freeman was lying dead, crushed from the next boss. That's a lot of next boss' feet and looked down. A tear dropped out of John Freeman's eye and landed on Gordon Freeman. You are dead, bro, and I killed the evil boss, John Freeman told Gordon Freeman. Then John Freeman saw something bad. A head crab was on Gordon Freeman. Gordon Freeman standed up and said, John Freeman, you got here slow, and now I am zombie ghost. You will pay. To be continued.
Okay. Oh, I got a good one here.
We're not at that part yet. We're gonna get through all mine first, and then I'm gonna do suggestions. We're gonna step out of Half-Life: Full Life Consequences for a little bit and do another one of his Half-Life fanfics called Hero Beginning. I'm not really sure. And then we're gonna step out and look at Peter Chimera's bad fanfic, Quarter Life Halfway to Destruction. And then we're gonna get back to Full Life Consequences. I promise it all ties together, sort of. All right, let's see. Here we go. Hero Beginning. In the future, the world was dark and scarry. One day, Combines came and knew why. Excuse me. Combines were robot things that weren't robots, with ugly faces and sometimes glowing eyes, enslaved people in the city and made them angry and sad. Henry Freeman, who was living in the city with his mom, said, Mom, why are Combines here? And she said, Henry Freeman, Combines are from space and outer space. Okay, I mean, I suppose that makes sense. Sort of. And they hate Hummins. What is Hummins? It's spelled Humenes.
Hummus.
So you were saying Hummins are Jewish. This guy, okay, several World War II scenarios are playing out in my head, and they're not a place I want to go. Henry Freeman really hated combines because they would beat up everyone, and Henry Freeman hated it. Mom, why are they beating up that girl? Henry Freeman said to his mom. Because she is humming Henry Freeman and they are evil combines, Henry Freeman's mom said back. Hey, you combines, stop betting her up, you evil guys, Henry Freeman yelled loud at them. Shut up, kid, or you will pay, the combines said, and aimed their laser guns at Henry Freeman's head. Combines, don't aim your lasers, yelled Mom, and then the combines shot her, and they laughed. Ha ha ha, stupid humming girl with no head, they said, with smiles. Henry Freeman graved his mom's hand and said, Mom, you are a beautiful soul, and combines will pay. Henry Freeman, no, get out of here fast as you can, Henry Freeman's mom said. This is like the Futurama thing, where they had the heads are preserved in jars. Anyway, yeah, so Henry Freeman's mom said that and then died. And then Henry Freeman grabbed the arm and shot the combines in the heart and said, this is not over. The people around Henry Freeman cheered and smiled and said, good job, Henry Freeman. We hate those combines. The combines made people afraid, and when Henry Freeman killed them, it gave them a hop. It gave them hop.
Hobbit.
They hit level 2. They now have the ability to jump. Combines, we are not scarred no more, said Henry Freeman, and everyone around Henry Freeman said, yeah! And they grabbed their laser guns and rocks. Henry Freeman and the people walked fast like waves and went toward the Combine's tower that was big like the sky. Where do you hum and think you are going? A big Combine army said with lots of striders. To send you back to science and outer space, Henry Freeman yelled with mad. Attack the Combines, Henry Freeman yelled again. The war was going and blowing things up when Henry Freeman saw a gravity gun on the ground. Combines, it is time to do what has to be done and live up to my family name, Henry Freeman whispered with head down. The Combines were shooting people and steeping on them with striders, and people were shooting laser guns back and killing them sometimes.
So that's his best sentence yet.
The Imperial Stormtroopers are the good guys this time. Explosions like 10 times of the sun went around Henry Freeman, but Henry Freeman didn't care. Humankind is losing, and I need to help, Henry Freeman said. Then a big rocket came down and blew a guy's arm off and legs and head and killed other people too. Henry Freeman saw the dead going on all around. Combines were toe strong and but big, but Henry Freeman didn't care neither. Henry Freeman put the gravity gun on and started to throw striders into buildings. The buildings fell and made dust and smoke and blinded Combines, so Henry Freeman could use the gravity gun to throw them into the sky really high and make them squish. The people were whining, but then glowing things went into the sky and Combines came out. Henry Freeman, we have to get out of here, said Henry Freeman. No, they are all everywhere, another guy said. You are surrounded, prepare to die, the dark man said. Henry Freeman looked around. Combines with laser guns were there. Henry Freeman knew if Hummins lost now, it would be sad forever. Fight! Henry Freeman yelled. People run towards the Combines to kill them, and the Combines were going to shoot all the people in a second when a bright light came into sky. A shiny thing like the Combines came from opened in the sky. And a guy came out. Combines, leave my son alone, John Freeman said. Plot twist of the century. To be continued. Alright, so we're going to take a break from the Full Life Consequences saga and go to Peter Chimera's Porter line, Halfway to Destruction. Obviously, this guy really seems to know his nuclear physics. I'm sure that this is going to be informative. Oh boy. Yeah, it's not going to be. That's not good. Alright, here we go. One day, Gordon Freeman was studying in his laboratory when a fellow scientist and co-worker named Jim asked him, Gordon Freeman, what are you working on? Gordon replied, I have discovered a brand new isotope, but it is so volatile that it has a quarter life instead of a half-life. We must observe with haste. Okay, this is actually the better spelled version. That's not good. I want the bad version. Here we go. Yes, here we go. All right. We have to observe with hasty. Just then, a head crab jumped on Jim's head. Oh no, how did come a head crab? Whence Gordon for his crowbar, but it was missing so bad. I almost prefer the better version. Jim's then head, oh no, oh wait, I already read that. It was missing, so but had to borrow a claymore sword. He hits the head crab, Jim was okay, but his head was cut. Hey, wait, watch where you balance, fun, I thank you. Ha ha, they laughed. Oh no, we're in isotope, Jim said. Which has been stole, said Gordon. Chapter 2, they reverser to isotrope what they don't. Gordon and Jim arrived at the alien scene where a bad game said, I take the isotope and it will fit. No, not all of Dallas. I think what's happening is someone stole this radioactive isotope and is going to use it to blow up all of Dallas.
No!
Which Sweat's target they were and what the right place, and my friend lives there. If you do not agree with my demands, too late, and the isotope quarter-life success until room was slowly become vaporized. You must escape here fastly, but Jim was already blown to smithereens. Chapter 3 is distraction imminent. This is Gordon Freeman. How do we understand to collapse? I know, and he used portals to push enemy headquarters in Dallas wouldn't melt portal, and it turns off harmless in Atlantic Ocean.
Did we leave the English language behind now? We also threw
I think we're speaking American at this point. Hooray, I succeeded with the mission. Not so fast, Mr. Gordon. What happens next? You decide. That's how that ends. That is how that ended.
Ironic.
That was a trip.
That was like
We
something
got
out of
Steve
a.
Ellis. How about that? We're guys.
It's like something out of a person's mind had gone on whatever kind of drug they were on to get into a fanfic.
All right, here we go. Last bit of Half-Life 1 consequences, and then we might move on to Halo, Halos in Space, Portal, or 30 Ages. Half-Life consequences. Free man. That's what a meaningful term. John Freeman backflipped out of the sky and landed beside Henry Freeman. Henry Freeman looked at John Freeman in the eyes and cry falled out and said, Dad, Mom has dead. And John Freeman sat at the ground and then moved his head real fast up. Combines, you killed wife? John Freeman said with growls. Yes, John Freeman, the dark man said. After Henry Freeman's mom is shot in hand, the dark man said again. I loved wife like sun rays. Dark man, you will suffer, John Freeman pointed and yelled. John Freeman jumped into Sky with kicks and hit Dark Man, and the Dark Man's mask ripped off and John Freeman see an ugly Combine face, but it looked like humming too. The Dark Man scrumbled back to Combines, and Combines went to shoot but Henry Freeman throwed grenade for John Freeman to shot them in faces. The grenade disappeared. Did it elope with that rocket from the second pick that never blew up?
To this day, you're still traveling around the globe.
How do you shoot someone in the face with a grenade?
That's a great question. Grenade launcher, I suppose. Son, take people and leave the city. It's time I have to kill the enemies and make evil go away for the rest of time. John Freeman said to Henry Freeman and people, I wonder where the forest of time is. That is how it's spelled. John Freeman, we fight, people said, and didn't go nowhere. Dad, Hummins have to fight for freedom, Henry Freeman said, and didn't go nowhere neither. All right, this line is gold. Just going to say it right now. John Freeman was afraid for first time. He didn't want nothing to happen to Henry Freeman because Henry Freeman was John Freeman. Saw Combines start to run like monsters to Hummins and Henry Freeman, and saw Henry Freeman and Hummins run like Brave to Combines. What? That was one sentence. I can read it slower and it won't make any more sense.
Hey, well, the guy who did Legos by Laura had a guess sentence there.
Not wrong. That does sound like something that would come on there. John Freeman got quiet, then dropped Weapon and said, I have to kill fast. and bullets too slow and started killing combines with bare hands. And it spelled bare hands. He's using the heavies, whatever they're called, the ones that are actually bear gloves. It's great. John Freeman was killing combines and barking next to Hummins, and Henry Freeman was behind shooting the combines in front. Now combines got scarred and ran back to the Dark Man, who was at the door to the big tower that was big onto the sun. Big. And went around the Dark Man to get ready to fight again. Then the Dark Man pressed the button that made the big tower glow and smoke. John Freeman, you let next boss step on me and made me head crab zombie ghost. Combines came and put science in me and made me live and strong and big now. I make you and Henry Freeman head crab zombie ghosts. Prepare to die, Gordon Freeman said. I think this is the Dark Man. I'm pretty sure he's the Dark Man. Gordon Freeman, you are my bro, and I killed next boss. Combine science is bad and made you tricked, bro. Stop the button and glowing, John Freeman said. No, Gordon Freeman angered back. Gordon Freeman teleportal to John Freeman and hit him with crowbar. It's spelled like the bird, crowbar. And John Freeman tried to grab it, but couldn't, so he punched Gordon Freeman instead. John Freeman and Gordon Freeman was fighting for life and death when the Combines and Hummins started shooting each other again. Henry Freeman got in front of the Hummins and saw the tower smoke and glow more and more like lightning clouds. Henry Freeman shouted, "It will explode!" So Henry Freeman and the people shot bullets and bombs at Combines so humankind could press the button and make it stop. Then Henry Freeman went to a Combine's car and shoot all the Combines in it. And then went to the top and used the turret gun. Henry Freeman made the turret gun shoot Combines and bullets cut them in 2 in half. Henry Freeman kept shooting Combines and the rest of Hummins got closer and closer to button and stop it. The Combines shot at the Hummins and made some die, but no one cared because they had to do it. Then Combines started coming out of the hub tower to stop the Hummins. There was too much Combines, and the Hummins couldn't go to the button no more, and the tower was all smoke and glow now, except for a little bit. This is very descriptive. John Freeman knew it was too late, and Hummins couldn't stop button. John Freeman had barley time, but was still fighting Gordon Freeman. Bro, it is time, I'm sorry, John Freeman said to Gordon Freeman. Time for you to die, John Freeman, Gordon Freeman said back. What a comeback. 10 out of 10. No, bro, John Freeman said, then kicked Gordon Freeman into part of the face that was like Combines. The science flew off Gordon Freeman's face and landed and blowed up in a boom. And Gordon Freeman stood and thought, that guy kicked the science off some face. I wish I was that badass. Bro, Gordon Freeman said, so John Freeman got closer to the ground to come fart Gordon. It really does say come fart, and it says it again here in a minute. Oh boy. Combines made me tricked, bro. I'm sorry, Gordon Freeman said. I know, bro, but you are hero, John Freeman said back to come fart. There it is again. Save Hummins and Henry Freeman, Gordon Freeman said, quiet like pain, and breathed slower and slower. John Freeman had Gordon Freeman and saw eyes shut and breath stoked, but Gordon Freeman had a smile on his own face. Half-Life 3, I guess? Is that the new plot? John Freeman let go of Gordon Freeman and went up back on his feet and looked his head around and saw trees and aminals and Hummins and then looked at Glowy Tower and he knew what has Tope done. He did it again. Son and people, get back, John Freeman said out real loud. So Henry Freeman front flipped off turret and went to people with... I'm trying to read this, it's so hard. And went with people back to John Freeman and ducked bullets and rackets. Son, take... Rockets? Suddenly Raphael Nadal is in on this, it's great. Son, take people on motorcycle and leave city. Make people safe, son. Nothing happened to them, John Freeman said to Henry Freeman. But Dad, I fight, Henry Freeman said. No, son, go with people. There's a long gap there for some reason. No, son, go with people, John Freeman said. So Henry Freeman and Hummins went on motorcycle. Henry Freeman started on motorcycle and started to go, but slow because he didn't want to. The combine saw and said, "Stop the Hummins!" and went charging motorcycle. John Freeman walked towards combines and made fists with hands. John Freeman punched and hit combines in front, but all combines in back shot rockets and machine guns. What's a machine gun? A rocket hit John Freeman, but he got him and killed more combines than a combine went at John Freeman's back and stabbed him. But John Freeman got knife out and stabbed a combine in brain. Brain is B-R-A-N-E, by the way. Combines got close and hit John Freeman's body with bullets, but John Freeman kicked combines back. John Freeman kept fighting combines and put head up to tower and saw it go bright and break. Then turned around in last second, saw a motorcycle in far off safe place and was happy. Henry Freeman and the people in the motorcycle saw the tower go like million stars and fire and loud noises. Then the people went down, but Henry Freeman kept going and didn't say nothing. Did the tower blow up or is it? After the world was nice and
It sounds like
Ultra Instinct Shaggy joined the fight. Got it. After the world was nice and Hummins had new city and happy because Combines was gone and nobody was slave or sad. President Henry Freeman and people in Aminals and Earth had peace, and in the middle of New City was a statue that said John Freeman, saver of Hummins. Nothing about Gordon. Wow.
Well, no,
That's the end, by the way. That's how that ends.
it really was good. That literally made absolutely no sense in the end.
Yep. Well, it doesn't look like we're having a PowerPoint because unfortunately it does not want to load. So we've got a couple more that we can do. We've got Half-Life, or we've already done Half-Life, all the constants. What I'm talking about. We can do Halo, Halos in Space. We can do My Immortal, a few chapters out of My Immortal. We can do 30 H's, which that one is a trip, let me tell you. And after we get those done, which we're halfway to the panel now, and nothing is nearly as long as a Half-Life Full Life Consequences thing. So once we get those three done, we can do audience participation or suggestions. It's up to you guys what you guys want to do. But we'll start with Halos in Space. It stars Joe Chief, who is not like Master Chief at all. Trust me, guys. All right. Joe Chief was in space and had weapons and was an army guy, but he wasn't a robot Master Chief, so he didn't fly. Master Chief can fly? Wait, I didn't ask you what voice you guys want me to read. Do you want this to be dramatic? Do you want it to be silly, or do you want me to do David Attenborough?
Do silly this time. I'd like to see the silly
I just
part.
heard a bunch of E's there. So
I'm gonna do
I
silly.
hear David Attenborough from the guys up front. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Steve Irwin.
Steve, I can't do Steve Irwin. I'm not that good at all. Steve.
Oh.
Steve, I'm gonna stick me head in his mouth. Joe Chief was in space and had weapons and was an army guy, but he wasn't a robot like Master Chief, so he didn't fly. Joe Chief was one day in a place and shooting weapon at targets, and then got a call on the space TV from the ship that said to him, "Joe Chief, aliens are shooting at ship. Come here quick." So he went. I don't know. This doesn't seem like it's as funny when I do it that way. I'm just gonna go back to the serious one. I don't know why. That just seems to make things greater. Joe Chief ran there fast to where bullets were from aliens and took off his weapons and shot at space to hit ships. Oh, I got actually pretty quickly. Aliens started flying from space into Joe Chief's ship, so he had to do something quick. Joe Chief punched an alien and ran fast to get a big weapon from the lock room, so he went there and got it and shot alien again into legs, and they fell, and Joe Chief shot again and killed them. This is violent. Joe Chief looked at dead aliens and said to them, "Aliens, we are human people, and you are aliens, but we don't need to kill things like us." And then he pushed them into space. After to normal aliens, the flood came, and everything got wet and messy and lightning-y, because he actually spelled lightning right correctly this time. Wow. Because water hit to space TV and all the things it made sparks. After to aliens sent the flood, other aliens with big heads, and Joe Chief had to run away because there was so many of these, and they were killing other human people on the ship. So he activated DK mode by the sound of things. Human people army guys, hurry and come in ship, Joe Chief said to the human people there, because aliens were killing them, and he was in an escape ship and ready to go. 3 other human people came just in time because the big ship blew up and they were flying fast in space and going to the Halo to meet Army base and get ready for tight. Joe Chief had to fly fast and go around teams leak alien ships and things. Then out of nowhere, boom happened, and the back of the escape ship fell open, and one of the army guys fell out and exploded in space. And then another one closed it and said, "No, he was my brother," and then he got tired and slept.
He's just been moved. His brother died.
Joe Chief looked in front of him and seen aliens shooting at him, so he did a barrel roll and 10 lasers went around him and went away. Throwback to the 90s and Star Fox 64. Joe Chief sawed the Halo in space. It smelled like he actually used the saw on it, so. Joe Chief sawed the Halo in space, so he put the ship faster and went there quick because a lot of aliens were there. Joe Chief shot like bang, bang, bang from his ship and made aliens blow up and then landed ship on Halo. Joe Chief said to the 2 other army guys, "We're here now, get weapon and kill aliens fast." So they did, but when they left, the ship landed and squashed them. The Deus Ex Machina.
Did they squash the aliens or the army?
It doesn't say. I think it means the human men, because human people, army guys were all dying fast, and Joe Chief had to save them. But he didn't know how. But then he saw something and went to it and pissed it up and said, "No, we win," to himself. That's how it ends. I think he found the action replay.
Well, he did a barrel roll at
He
least.
did do a barrel roll.
Yeah.
Barrel. Do the barrel.
Press L or R twice.
Yeah.
Press button, receive it.
All right. Well, that's done. So we got a couple more we can do. I want to do 30 H's first because, well, like I said, it's a trip. I just want to go ahead and get it out of the way. I'm going to read that one in my silly voice. And
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So the reason why it's called 30 H's is because the title of the fic is literally 30 capital H characters just all in a row.
Yeah.
That hasn't gotten removed yet?
It has not gotten removed yet. I'm just going to read the first chapter. Just the first chapter. It is really not that long. Oh, good God.
Go for it!
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. This is written by a guy named Second Pillow, and I hope this guy has seen some counseling. I'm going to break characters several times. Tommy relished his groin saw's raw as he withdrew the flesh-choked blade from the astronaut's ruined skull. That's how it opens. Hey, what's going on? I think you, what are you looking for? You picked a good time to poke your head in.
Perfect.
This is the perfect fic for that.
Whatever you're looking for is right here.
It's right here, right now. This is bad fanfiction.
Yeah, this is reading bad fan fiction. We're reading 30 H's by Second Pillow. If you've ever heard of that, I'm
Or
sorry.
30
If
ha.
you've never heard of it, well, you're learning now. Anyway, how does Ronnie Ron taste, master? Harry spat out an eyeball like some kid with eyes. Dobby ducked an astronaut's poison bob fist, digging his groin saw into the beast's abdomen and letting the spray of mascara wash over his elfin space arm. I can't believe this guy actually used the right adjective of elfin. I'm going to give him 20 points for that one. The skull's eye sockets on his shoulders grew brilliant with an infernal cast and vomited a bolt of light through an astronaut. He was thrown back against the death wall, his flesh boiling in another dimension. Harry slapped Dobby, who giggled. Harry reminded himself to kill himself. Well, this got dark. Master, look out! Dobby's groin saw screamed. What is a groin saw? It's like the third time I've read it, it's just gone over my head. Tommy's groin saw screamed as it flew off the armor, hitting through the air like an early dream of mankind. What a disgrace!
What on earth is even going on?
I'm not okay. This is too good.
Okay.
All right. I'm almost there. As soon as I get done with this, I can stop crying.
I can try it.
An early dream of mankind.
If you tag me and I can read
Good
it.
Lord. It flew through 3 astronauts who dropped their hell spears as the saw cut a hole in the ground beneath them so they fell to hell forever. And that's just chapter 1.
Read chapter 2.
I am not reading the rest of it.
Come on, read chapter 2.
I will be
You
here
can look it up
forever if I
yourself.
read. I will be here for the rest of the time if I try to read the rest of that. If that's the way the rest of it is.
It doesn't even sound like they're even trying to begin a sentence. It just simply just like mumbling.
He just started by killing astronauts with Dobby. I mean, I really hope this kid saw counseling later in life.
What's it called?
It's called 30 H's.
Or
30 capital letter H's in a row.
or,
That is all
or,
that it
or
is.
gonna be called 30 ha.
There's no letter A in there. It's just, they just did the best bet. You have to contract like severe laryngitis to pronounce it right.
You want to actually pronounce it.
Either that or you do that. It just sounds like you're hawking a massive loogie. We'll just put it that way. That's really how it sounds. Chapter 1. Here we go. I'm going to read the first 4 chapters of My Immortal. The reason being for that is because there's a great audience suggestion. So if you guys, actually before we even start, let's decide what we want to do, because if we decide on suggestion, then you guys can get the ones you want me to read prepared as quickly as possible. So I will do this. Raise your hand if you want to do suggestion only. Raise your hand if you want to do participation. And raise your hand if you want to do both. There we go. Okay, so here's how we'll do that. Considering we just read 30 H's and we're about to read My Immortal, it's clear that there's not really any rules, but let's keep the gratuitous sex to an absolute minimum, and by minimum I mean none. My Immortal is going to have like one very brief description, and it's just so hilarious in its badness, so I'm just going to... and if you can, don't make us read the whole thing. Try to pick a small section that is the absolute worst this fic gets. Rule number 1, when you're picking, make sure that the like to dislike ratio, if it's on FinFic, looks like a red lightsaber and not a green lightsaber, right? We want it to be objectively bad as voted on by the community. So if it's like 50-50 or something like that, then that's a hard no, because some people like it, others don't. We want it to be one that everybody just objectively gives the thumbs down to. So, let's see here. Here we go, My Immortal. It has its own wiki.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether to be impressed or disappointed by that.
Yes, it's legendary.
Most popular pages. This has got to be where I'm going to find out what this is for. Most visited articles. All right, chapters 1 through 11. Here we go. All right. I'm going to try and read these as phonetically as possible, of course, because we get so many bad misspellings in here. Dramatic or comedy?
Comedy.
Dramatic, raise your hand. Comedy, raise your hand. We have a very clear winner. All right. Special thanks. Get it? Because I'm Gothic. To my GF, ew, not in that way. Bloody Tears 666 for helping me with the story and spelling letter U, you rockle. Justin, you're the love of me, depressing lift. You rock 2, number 2. MCR rocks. And then a bunch of X's. That's the author's note. This is going to be hell. Hi, my name is Ebony Dark Apostrophe Nest Dementia Raven Way, and I have long ebony black hair, that's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. Nope, if you don't know who she is, then get the hell out of here. I I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was because he's a major fucking hot You want to be related to this guy because he's hot. That, oh boy. All right.
It's just another
I'm a
word.
vampire, but my teeth are straight and white, and you're not a vampire. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England. It's actually in Scotland, where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth. In case you couldn't tell, these author's notes. They just interrupt everything. I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes there. For example, here's the part that I know you've all been waiting for. We're about to find out what she wears. Explicit detail. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it, and a black leather mini skirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was also wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining at the same time. Yeah, that was my thought. Is that we have a word for that. It's called sleet. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. Hey, everybody, shouted a voice. I looked up. It was ... Draco Malfoy. What's up, Draco? I asked. Nothing, he said shyly. But then I heard my friends call me and I had to go away. Author's note, is it good? Pulls tell me fangs. No. Chapter 2. Author's note, thanks to Bloody Tier 666 for helping me with the chapter. By the way, prep stop flamming my story off.
Good.
I'm losing brain cells by the second. The next day, I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining at the same time again. I opened the door in my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle.
Just have that. It's fine.
Shoutouts to Hogwarts for being accepting of all human suffrages. My coffin was black ebony, and inside it was hot pink velvet with black lace on the ends. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR t-shirt, which I used for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets on. I put on 4 pairs of earrings and my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of messy bun. My friend Willow, author's note, Raven, this is you, and then grinned at me. She flipped her long, waist-length raven black hair with pink streaks and opened her forest green eyes. She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini fishnets and pointy high-heeled boots. We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner. Amafika, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday, she said excitedly. Yeah. So, what?
He's like, is this my immortal? And it's like, yes.
Yes.
Like,
This is my immortal.
I just walked in.
You missed
and I
30
immediately
H's.
caught on. I immediately knew.
You missed 30 H's and you walked in on the most famous Badfic of all time. So great timing.
Who knows?
You should have been here 10 minutes sooner.
Remember, only thing I remember is my foundation.
Do you like Draco? She asked as we went out of the Slytherin common room and into the Great Hall. No, I so fucking don't, I shouted. Yeah, right, she exclaimed. Just then, Draco walked up to me. Hi, he said. Hi, I replied flirtily. Guess what, he said. What, I asked. Well, good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade, he told me. Oh, my fucking God, I screamed. I love GC. They are my favorite band. Besides MCR. Well, ... Do you want to go with me? He asked. I gasped. Chapter 3.
I didn't know that Muggle bands were fucking Hogsmeade.
I know, right? Well,
It gets worse by the
you
minute.
have seen nothing yet.
This is gonna get worse by the minute.
We're almost, this will be about another 5 minutes. We've got about 15 minutes left of the audience suggestions. So what I want you guys to do is start forming a line, and we'll try to make this quick. Yeah, we'll try to make this as quick as possible for those of you who want to participate. If you want to read Badfic, just get in line over here. We'll try to make it as quickly as possible. And those of you who want to suggest, get your stuff ready. We're almost there.
You're on Badfic?
We're almost to the end of chapter 3, and I'm going to get to the end of chapter 4, and that'll be that.
And then be close to the end of the panel.
No, I don't end the panel. We'll have some time. Author's note. Stop flamming the story, preps awk. Otherwise, thanks to the Gothic people for the good reviews. Thanks again, Raven. Oh yeah. By the way, I don't own disc or the lyrics for Good Charlotte. Okay, I mean, I never assumed you did. On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots with high heels. Underneath them were ripped red fishnets. Then I put on a black leather mini dress with all this corset stuff in the back and front. I put on matching fishnet on my, this is 2006 in dress form. This is such a badly dated fanfic. It's ridiculous. I put on matching fishnet on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. You can't do both. It has to be straight or spiky. I felt a little depressed. It gets dark. I felt a little depressed, so I slit one of my wrists.
That's okay. It's a little. Just a little fast.
I think that one sentence just sums up everything. I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and then I listened to some GC. I painted my nails black and then put on tons of black eyeliner. Then I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. I guess she's got to replenish the blood she lost, but that begs the question, was it her own blood that she just got out of her wrist?
That's why she's pale too. She don't need a
Makes
foundation.
sense. Well, that and all the makeup. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would be playing at the show too. Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. Author's note, a lot faux cool boys wear it okay. What?
She's got a point.
Hi, Draco,
Okay.
I said in a depressed voice. Hi, Ebony, he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz. The license plate said 666, and flew to the place with the concert. So they flew to Hogsmeade. Just say flew to Hogsmeade.
Yeah.
On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs. When we got there,
The
we
drugs.
both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit in front of the stage and jumped up and down, and we listened to Good Charlotte. You come in cold. You're covered in blood. They're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mom. She sets you free into this life-sang Joel. I don't own the lyrics to that song. You're told. Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sung, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. What's wrong? I asked as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you, I said. It really is all caps, so I thought, okay, this is some really romantic dialogue. I am intrigued.
You.
Crank that soldier boy. Really? Asked Draco sensitively.
That's what you call
This is not Draco
good.
Malfoy.
Good.
Who are you and what have you done with Malfoy? Draco asked really sensitively, and he put his arm around me all protective. Really, I said. Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hillary fucking Duff. This really is 2006. I fucking hate that little bitch, I said, disgustedly thinking of her ugly blonde face. The night went on really well, and I had a great time, so did Draco.
It's really getting weird.
After the concert, we drank some beer.
beer. She's underage.
Oh no.
She drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. We got GC concert tees. Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back into Hogwarts. Instead, he drove the car into... Alright, there are 1, 2, 9 total ellipses, so 27 total periods there.
Ellipses.
He really has mastered the art of the dramatic pause. He drove the car into the Forbidden Forest.
Dun dun dun.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, the Forbidden Forest.
Chapter 4, last
Listen to
chapter.
the sorry song, you'll get out sooner.
Chapter 4, author's note. I said stop flaming. Okay, Ebony's name is Enobi. Okay, her name is Enobi now. Nuts Mary Sue. Okay, Draco is so in love with her that he is acting deferent. They knew each other before. What? That Malfoy is a spy.
That Malfoy is a spy.
Draco, I shouted. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and walked out of it. I walked out of it too curiously.
In midair.
He didn't land the car!
In midair.
They're in midair!
Walking on air. I'm walking on sunshine.
Yeah.
On a cloudy day.
What the fucking hell? I asked angrily. Yeah, and I asked that angrily too. I have never found a fic that just so perfectly encapsulates my own feelings towards it like that one sentence.
It's self-aware.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's the best part, all right? It's gonna be
Slice of
like-
life.
Ebony, he asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close. And I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing colored contacts. It was revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness, and then suddenly, I didn't feel bad anymore. And then, suddenly, just as Draco kissed me passionately.
In midair.
Draco climbed on top of me, and we started to make out keenly against a tree.
In midair.
He took of my top, and I took of his clothes. He took of my bra. Then he put his thingy into my one.
His thingy.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the best comic of this I ever saw was that it showed them looking like they were having such a tender moment, and the camera pans out, and Draco Malfoy has a wooden pencil inside of Ebony's pencil sharpener. And they took an exam for the very first time in their lives.
That's what you wanted to say to the girl. I'll put my thingy in your you-know-what.
That is some epic pillow talk. Oh, it gets better. Here we go. It gets better.
Plus one.
All right. We're almost into the chapter, and we're running out of time.
Right.
Oh, I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere, and my pale body became all warm. And then...
Oh
He's losing color. His face is
What
draining.
did she do?
What the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers?
Is that in the story, or are you asking that?
Dumbledore.
no! Oh my gosh! Am I using the wrong
Hold on a
one?
second.
Can I?
And that's it. That's chapter 4. We're almost done.
That's where we're cliffhanger.
All right. We have 10 minutes left.
I've got
We
one.
have 3 volunteers. 3 volunteering? We have 3 volunteers. You just want to read. What do you want to read? You don't care.
Oh boy.
Well, I would like to do Call of Duty Terrorists. Terrorists in a house.
Call of Duty terrorists. Terrorists in a house. I'm gonna time you. Remember, try to read your best part, and I'll let you know when I think about the time's up. We'll be back.
All of the games of man belong to whoever they belong to. Someone said I could be Sue, so let's go do that. The terrorists were in a house. It was a warehouse that the terrorists were in. Wares and werewolves. And also communists. They were in the middle of London. The terrorists had guns and bombs and hostages and one tank. But they did not expect the SAS to attack them with warthogs from high-low. That happened. The wall hogs drove up to the base, but suddenly terror missed. They shot at them. but then they all died, so they drove further into the base.
Pause real quick. Are you volunteering as well, or are you just okay?
In the fighting, ghosts from Call of Duty 2 showed up and they said, "We thought you died in some fires." But he said no and shot them with his Desert Eagle. Died from several bullets, said a man. He hit them with some bullets. After the fights, they rescued the hostages and the bombs, but the tank was missing, and also the bombs, and one man had died. It is sad, as he is a friend, man, and had one day to retirement. But it is how he would have wanted to go, so I'm not too sad. Wow, they used that cliche. One day to retire, said the SAS. I will chase the Tremorous, said Ghost. And then he drove the Walrus into the river, which is London River, and second biggest river in London. Not a wall hog, a walrus. He pressed the button and the wheels turned into propellers so he could go underwater now. When he saw the tank, he jumped out and shot at him, but the Warthog got on his Warhog, but it did not work. Boom, said the tank, and the Puma bounced away, and Ghost was knocked out. Not dead, because the tank shot near him, but he did not hit him, so he's okay. When Ghost woke up, he could see some man in guns. He was still silly from explosion and some blood on his face. His hands were tied up over his head. You have rescued the bomb senders, but you cannot win because you are tied up and will die now because of bombs, said a man who was a terrorist leader. No, I will win and stop all the Tory risks, said Ghost.
5, 4. We'll just call it there then. You want to read now, right?
Yeah.
He is the greatest
You
man.
have like 38 to chapter 2. It's like I can do that.
I don't know. You guys want to hear 38?
Yes, yes, yes.
I can pull it up real quick. Cool.
Let's make it get weird.
So, let me use my iPod for this. Like I said, I'm trying to time so that way we can give this strapping young gentleman a chance as well.
Yeah.
So, because I think we'll be able to get all three of you in. It is approximately 5:20 now. So, 5:22, excuse me. So yeah, we just got one. We'll get you, and then we'll get you. This one's a little bit longer. So yeah, 2 minutes. I'll let you know when I start. Remember, silly or as dramatic as possible, but make it memorable.
Okay.
Now Johnny knelt before his master. Harry withdrew his guitar, Foxslayer, from a dimension where all screamed for notes. Wrought the silver heart of heaven's false promise, laced with vessels that pulsed with the angel's menstrual blood, owned from the horns of Satan's generals. It laughed as it was set loose, a laugh that only Harry could hear, but no one could share. Harry swung the guitar through Dobby's chicken neck. He took the head of his fallen dwarf slave and tore open his stomach, stuffing the head inside. Harry vomited steam and summoned a great meteor from space to smash into Hogwarts and kill everyone there for no reason at all. A vision that appeared. It was Dumbledore, entombed in his cursed mummy armor, calling Harry from his moon base, which was on the moon.
Just to let you know, it's on the
Harry,
moon.
you must rock the fuck out. Harry channeled his rage through Foxslayer. The angel blood boiled as he summoned the great meteor, swathed with the blood of the tiny fucklings in Hogwarts, lapped onto it, and flew into space. He encased the entire meteor in a wreath of holy fuck fire and flew through Mercury, killing the fuck out of it.
Amazing.
Then he sent Mercury's carcass into Venus, killing the fuck out of it, and making every vagina in the galaxy explode. So every vagina will be saved. A more than life-leading president.
guy
Everything flying
trying
into
to-
space, punching astral vampires in half.
Trying to push out every single molecule of oxygen out of his lungs at once.
Okay. What was that? I mean, I barely followed what was happening in the first chapter. I couldn't even keep up with that. I'm gonna give you a 10 out of 10 for that one. That was great. What do you want to read?
Wherever you want to throw at me, Brandon.
Whatever I want to throw at you. Oh, you have my phone. Hey man, I need my phone back. Yo, buddy, I need my phone back.
Oh.
I mean, it's not a great phone, but it's the only one.
I forgot.
It's not a great phone, but it's mine. There are many phones like it.
You know what? I'll make you read Halos in Space Part 2.
Alright. Part 2.
Again, we'll give you a couple minutes, and then after he's done, do we have anyone else
This is going to be final call. Does anybody else want to participate?
Come on, I know y'all want to inflict
Not
some
a
fun
fanfic,
on everyone.
it's just the first episode as translated into Ebonics.
What was that?
I'm going to say no to that one.
Alright, fair enough.
Alright, Halos, oh wait, aliens in space, aliens attack. Oh boy. Alright, 2 minutes, floor is yours.
All right, Joe Chief, our best bud, bended his leg, and his other legs, and looked at the big weapon. Tear dropped down his eyes and said, "Alien, you shoot my human people, I kill and shoot them. No more or else." And then Joe Chief grabbed the weapon in his back and standed up. Watch out. Everywhere, aliens were shooting and making booms on humans, people, all around the Halo place, all of it. No over here, no over there. Oh, okay. A human guy said to another human guy, because alien things were going to them. All right, sure, we'll go with that. "No, we die soon," I suppose later. And the other human guy said, back to the other human guy after. A lot of human guys. All the guys. "No, you don't die soon," Joe Chief yelled back at the human guys. "Yes, we do." Humans apparently don't know what they're doing here. Human guys shout back, "No, look," Joe Chief said. Then boom, 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 boom! Joe Chief shot the big, huge weapon that looked like bigger bullets. It looked like a cannon on a pirate ship. Pirate? Yes, pirate ship, but smaller and more bigger bullets. Small, big bullets. Giant space miniatures. All right, let's see here. The aliens around had no heads no more because the weapon blew them into teeny weeny little bitty pieces. Yes, thank you, Joe Chief. Both human guys said at the same time together, as opposed to breaking. That's a lot. That's a lot of Joe Chief. All right. Yeah. After Joe Chief helped them, he went away to help other human guys. But right then, a huge alien ship dropped down from space skies with the atmosphere in space. That's where we're going to leave it. What's next for Joe Chief? Find out next time on Bad Fanfiction C.
Woo! I gotta hand it to both of you. Those are some really enthusiastic readings. 10 out of 10. And you too, you did a good job.
Yeah, I was expecting Call of Duty to get more fun out of it, basically. Yeah, the Walrus was my favorite.
I really enjoyed how the writing, like literally I wanted to make that, like when someone said, hum it, like we were saying hums, I say hum this.
Oh yeah.
Apparently the writer for that Call of Duty thinks that there's a river called London River, which is the biggest, so he doesn't even know there's something called the Thames.
Yeah, the Thames River. All right,
well, then again,
so
he'd probably pronounce it like Thames, so.
all right, so that is it for this panel today. I would like to ask, because I might see about doing it again next year, something similar to that.
Yes.
Do we want to do?
Yes.
Do we want to do more audience participation? Do we want to do more me reading it? What do we want, basically?
You reading it. I like
all
you
of
said.
it. Just more of the same.
Just more of it all.
We'll try and see if I can get my laptop working next time, and we can see.
Get some reaction memes up there.
I can't do that. I can't use 2010 memes. Those are dead. I want to let them rest in peace.
Oh no, we got necromancer.
Anyway. Okay. Yeah.
We have enough rocks.
All right, but yeah, thank you guys for coming. If it wasn't for all the laughing, I don't think I would have had as much fun doing this as I did.
You had fun with
A
us.
lot of fun.
I came to laugh.
I really enjoyed the bad. I really enjoyed the bad writing much more than anything. Like how everybody didn't write it properly, appropriate pronouns to know what statements to
I
make.
was gonna have it up on the screen, so that way people would actually see the terrible spelling